Alright guys, in this video I want to take a couple minutes just to show you guys how to perform an electrolysis test onto your brake fluid. Now if you guys don't know, brake fluid is hygroscopic. Now what hygroscopic means is that it absorbs moisture from the air, and it does this naturally. You can cover it, it doesn't matter, it's going to absorb moisture. So the allowable amount of moisture into the brake fluid is roughly about 3%. Now this translates into roughly about 300 millivolts onto when you're testing with a multimeter, or you can also buy a little brake fluid testing tool, and it's divided into percentages onto it. So we have 0%, 1%, 2%, 3%, and 4%. And what I'm going to do is show you guys the different ways of testing, and hopefully you guys are able to use this on your own vehicles or customers' vehicles to help you diagnose maybe a spongy pedal or something around there. So what we're going to do first is turn on the multimeter, and we're going to go into the millivolt section. You can go into the voltage section too, it doesn't really matter. We're going to take our positive lead and we're going to throw it into the brake fluid. Now if you don't want to use your expensive leads for this, completely understandable. I suggest you just go to the auto parts store, pick up a cheap set of leads and do it there. And if you don't have a multimeter, they're roughly about $10 at your auto parts store. Then what we're going to do, we're going to come down and we're going to touch the ground lead to the case to the master cylinder. Now what that's going to do is give you a ground point, and it also gives you to see the conductivity of the brake fluid basically. So as you see here, we are roughly about 170 millivolts. So what that's telling me is this is roughly about about 2%, give or take, humidity into the brake fluid. Now what we're going to do, we are going to take the tool. Now the tool is actually going to reach down a little bit farther, and if it reaches down a little bit farther, it might actually take and read more water into the system than what the multimeter does. So what we're going to do is just turn it on with this little button up here. You take that, you press that, and then you come over. It's green, that means that it's good. And as you can see here, we are at 3%. 4% now. No, we're at 3%. So 3% humidity into brake fluid is not good. It means that that it needs to be replaced because it has absorbed too much water. So what I'm going to do now is actually come over. I got some new bottles of brake fluid over here because I'm actually flushing out the system. And I'm just going to take and I'm going to stick the tool into a new bottle. And we're going to see what it reads. And a new bottle, let me clean that off first. Give me 1 second. Alright, so I just cleaned it off. Now we're going to retest it. I think my batteries are going dead. Either that or it's connecting somewhere else. Give me 1 second again. Alright, so I took and I replaced the batteries into the unit because they were actually starting to go dead. But I also opened up 2 other bottles just to make sure. But the new bottles are roughly at 2% humidity. Now that's into the allowable range. I would have preferred to see more about the 0-1%, but we're testing our one. So we're at 2% on all 3. So it's into the allowable range. So what we are going to do now is I'm going to go and replace all the brake fluid. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I will see you guys next time.